Hashtag no music, no intro. We are back. Another episode of the Main Squad Party podcast coming at you the day after Christmas. I hope everyone had a happy holiday. I want to give love to my Wolf, who definitely, definitely feel started what Monday. Like I've never, as long as I've known you, I've been you were these last couple of days.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, Monday, bro. Shit hit me like a train, bro. Like my wife caught something. This around like Friday. So I'm taking her care all weekend. I'm just hoping, I'm like, please, because usually I don't get sick. I don't get sick a lot. But man, Sunday night, I started feeling my throat a little scratchy. I'm like, oh
Uh
shit.
oh.
I said, here we go. Next day, I went to work. About 10 o'clock at work, I told my boss, I'm like, I gotta go home. I just can't. I can't. I just feel it. I can't do it. Went home and I was dead, bro. Like I just couldn't do shit. Tried to watch the Zoom.
Oh, bruh. It
I
was.
just, I was just like, y'all ragging jokes on me and shit. I'm like, I don't even know what's going on, bro. I'm like,
It, and we didn't even know you were. We didn't even know you were sick. All we saw was just like this shadowy image,
bro,
like a
I didn't have, I
silhouette,
didn't
bruh.
have the strength. I didn't have the strength to go grab my light or nothing. I just like, what?
But
Then I just,
glad
I
you did.
just end up passing out right there. I was just like, whatever, bro.
Um, luckily, you did not miss much. You did not miss much
Yeah,
at all.
I realized that. I'm like, damn. If there was a time to be like half dead, that was the time to do
That
it.
that was the time. Um, glad to be recording this. So this is going to be a combination episode. So we're gonna briefly recap the massacre, disaster, Packers Monday Night Football game and preview the Raiders game. Although I don't know what much is there is to preview. Before we get into all that, I do want to give love to my rock. It is Jay's birthday today.
Happy birthday, Jay.
Who I don't know how she puts up with my fucking shenanigans as long as she's
Woo.
put up with them. But much love to my other half and my support who's put up with my shenanigans as long as she has. So this is her day. So we have a nice little going to a little steakhouse tonight. Celebrate her and everything. So looking forward to that. But yeah, man. That Packers game was.
Tell me,
Whew.
babe. Tell me, bro. I tried watching like some breakdowns. I just couldn't get through it. I'm like, this is ugly. This is terrible, man. Like, it's exactly what I didn't want to happen. It's like another Broncos type game where it's just like
Man, I feel like he was even worse than the
it was
Broncos
worse.
game.
It was worse.
But in a way, and Greg texted this. Our dude Greg Rosenthal texted this to me during the game. I think a game like that is maybe needed if Gale was potentially thinking about letting Mickey get another shot. Like I think a game like that
Yeah,
makes her think like, ooh,
because it's another one of those. Damn, we not even in the. Forget saying weight class. We
woo,
in different. We playing different games right now. We in different leagues.
leaked.
Like
Like it,
we.
like the first opening kickoff, the Packers get the ball on offense, and they just go down the field. There's two negative plays that the Saints defense calls. Other than that, they go down the field, and then Josh Jacobs, and I don't know if it was on this drive or another drive, but he does this stiff arm to Honey Badger that is
Oh,
just so disrespectful. And all and we'll get to the offense, and I'll talk about Spencer Rattler to a degree. But all throughout the game, I'm thinking this defense is slow as hell. There's no athleticism. You have players like Pete Warner missing tackles all over the place. Where I'm just thinking, still don't. If someone could still like, I would love to run into Mickey Loomis at the Super Bowl and be like, "Yeah, can you explain the Pete Warner extension to me? Because I'm still confused on why he got extended. I'm still very confused on it because like I don't know what his value is as a linebacker. Besides, you can say that he's a starting NFL linebacker, and I put starting in quotes. Demario, this is another Demario Davis game. Like the Commanders game, Demario Davis looked great. This game against the Packers, he looked like an older, aging linebacker again.
Damn.
And it like everyone, the only like the only person that looked positive defensively was like Will Harris. Like he was like the only defender that looked like he cared out there,
Yeah.
which was like that's an indictment. Like
Yeah.
I'll give you how the Packers scored the first touchdown in the game. They run it. It's a man concept. The Packers are running a pick play, and Wicks, the wide receiver on the Packers, is like setting like a pick play within 1 yard, and Amadi thinks this is the NBA, and he tries to draw an OPI, and he flops. Like he doesn't get touched by Wicks. He like literally flops. Like he and like falls to the ground, tries to sell an OPI call, and like Wicks just goes into the end zone, touchdown, bro. Like he, I swear to God, I'm not making any of this up, Ryan.
You think you gonna draw a foul?
Yes, that's exactly what he's trying to do. And it was just one of those games where it's just like, and I'm glad they kept showing this on well, they didn't show it repeatedly, but they kept showing how the Packers were built. We know how the Packers were built. We said it on the preview pod. Drafting and developing.
Yeah.
Drafting and developing. And that is just a 180 of how the Saints have been. They have not drafted well. They have not developed. And the few players that they have drafted and developed over the years, most of them don't play for the Saints anymore. And this is how you get to where they are. It was just a complete just different weight class. Complete different weight class.
Then I gotta wake up and see Andrew Brandt
Oh my.
tweeting his load, taking his load. Oh my God! Like just the worst type of people. This is who y'all let win. This is who y'all let win, Mickey Loomis. You know. And look, now his arguments, to me, his arguments don't hold up. And if you don't know, Andrew Brandt, he was I think he was the assistant GM with the Green Bay Packers for years. He was their cap guy. So he's a very conservative cap guy.
Yes.
Been on top of Saint the way the Saints run the cap. Been at their neck for years. Years.
Years.
He can't stand the way the Saints do business, which I understand. I understand. You know, if you take the Green Bay approach, Saints are like, it's like the worst thing ever. You know what I'm saying?
I just can't stand how he brings it up because if you just leave how they leave the cap out of it, you just focus on if they just draft well, how they manage the cap is insignificant. Like it really does. It doesn't matter how they run the cap if they just hit on draft picks. Like it doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. That's the whole key.
And his whole thing, like, look at the results. It's like, well, Green Bay won in the past 20 years. Green Bay has won one Super Bowl.
Uh-oh.
They've won a lot of games.
Yes.
You know, won some playoff games. That's about it. At the same time as the Saints, the past 20 years, they've won a lot of games. They've won one Super Bowl, won some playoff games. It's like, okay, there's two different approaches that they've taken, but I mean, the results are pretty much the same. Now, the difference is Green Bay is set up for sustained success, where our success was very much tied to the head coach and the quarterback, where once Drew Brees and Sean Payton left out the door, it's gone. Where Green Bay, they continue to develop coaches, bring in new coaches. They continue to draft, develop quarterbacks to keep that sustained success going. That's where Saints really fell off. That's where they should be getting criticized for. But everybody just want to talk about the cap management. It's like y'all missing the story here, man. Like
Maybe talk about how the Saints decided to hire one of the worst head coaches of all time and felt like
hello,
the next guy.
Like, we just gonna leave that out.
Just the whole out of the whole
Well, leave
fucking
Dennis
equation.
Allen out. Just I'm just gonna leave that out. Just leave Dennis Allen out. No, no. It's like
No.
that's what drives me about all that stuff. It's like y'all criticize of all the things y'all criticize, y'all just pick the low hanging fruits. Like, oh, the cap. Like, okay, you managed the cap. It's like,
So I want to get to a comment said in the chat. Lob32 City says we need to consider sending Olave to Houston for a first rounder. By the time we get a quarterback and clean up the cap, Olave will be in year 6 or 7. Like you argue like that's the thing. Like we just talked, and I'm not saying we just talked about how they don't draft well, and I get Chris has his concussion issues. It's a legitimate issue. It's a legitimate issue.
legit.
Legitimate issue. But I just don't understand like one of the few players, one of the very few players that they've hit on, the one of the few greens that they've hit on, like you're trying to ship him out. Like like logically, it just doesn't make sense to me. That does not make sense to me. Because at some point you have to, whether they roll with Spencer next year or they do like they try to whoever they have at quarterback next year, that equation of team building is like trying to take away Olave from that equation from a team building perspective makes no football sense to me at any kind of perspective.
And you just you create new holes because it's just another hole you got to fill. Like, so you trade Olave and then you
So
hope
now you
to
need so
draft.
now you need another
Got
receiver.
to go draft a receiver. And hope he's as good as Olave. You know what I'm saying? Look, I don't know. You just kind of running in circles. Look, like we so past the point of like, hey, we need to trade this player to get a pick. Like, bro, this team needs so much help. It's
What I will say is that they got. I just don't know how Gale at this point. This is the second time that the second time in 3 years, 3+ years that this team has been shut out. I would know because I was at the first game that they got shut out in over like many moons. That Niners game.
oh yeah.
I was there, and all I could think of is like, how does Gale not see how all this essentially falls on Mickey's lap? It all falls on Mickey's lap. Like every single piece of how this team was constructed. How Mickey kept saying like this team is close. This team can contend, after Sean and Drew left. Like this team is like on the cusp of, can still contending. That's why if you just go back and listen to that pressure why they made that trade to get 2 first-round picks with Philly, it was because they felt that they were on the cusp of being able to contend and be in the NFC playoffs and can make a. That's what their logic was, and obviously
And
that was completely not the case.
but his excuse would be like, well, the injuries. It's like, but that's a part of your job. You're supposed to build depth.
Depth.
Like players ready to come in and succeed. But 2009, Jamal Brown got hurt before the season even started. Had Bushrod come right in there, play left tackle, rest of the season. We've seen it countless times where players get hurt and then it creates a shit. Ramcheck camp came in for Streif, first game of the season, 2017, and ended up, not letting that position go. And it's just been like the depth has been horrible. I mean, this game here, I mean, poor Spence, he think, well, at least I got the good offensive line this time.
Oh,
Sorry,
Ryan.
sorry, Spence.
Ryan. It's been on our radar how bad the starting offensive line has been since they've been back full health since what is it? Since the bye week. We talked about it. I don't even remember who they played before the Giants game. But like I was at the Giants game, they was getting no push. Whoever they played before the Giants game, they was getting bullied in the run game. Passing game, they bless you. Passing game, they were doing okay at least holding up somewhat in the passing game. But no push in the run game whatsoever. And they were absolutely dog shit, like across the board. The only one that would look decent out there, for the most part, in some glimpses, was Fuaga. But this was by far Trevor Penning's worst game all season. Where Reese seemed like he's had a downright like awful year after he got after he gets gotten paid. And I know people are going to listen to this and say, listen, there here they go making excuses for Spencer Rattler. The man was pressured on 50 plus of his dropbacks. 50%, sorry, 50 plus
Over
percent.
50%. Oh my God.
Like that's not me making up pulling facts. That's just what Ross Jackson tweeted after the game. It was like over 50% of his dropbacks he was pressured. So again, I keep saying this. Is Spencer Rattler going to be good? Maybe, maybe not. No one knows. But I'm not trying to say that he is Bryce Young because he was not drafted one of one. He was not a number one overall pick. But the situations of the two are pretty fucking similar. I'm not saying he's going to become Bryce Young. I'm just saying it's very hard to evaluate a quarterback that has a very bad coaching on a very bad coaching staff and no talent around them. Like
Hurt.
it's impossible. Like I can't sit here and say that he's going to be good or going to be bad because like you can't tell. All you can just go
It's
off. Is
hard.
just, all
It's
you can
hard
just
to
go
tell.
off is just glimpses, bro.
Like if you told me Bryce Young would have like the past couple of weeks that he's had, if you would have told me that like earlier this season,
Week
I'd be
even
like,
week one, nigga. We saw him week one.
I was like, as somebody who liked Bryce Young, I was like, man, maybe he just sucks because it was just that bad, and it's so hard to separate the surrounding cast
Mm-hmm.
plus the talent, and they all kind of feed each other, and
Yes.
so like it's hard, man. So like with Spencer, like look, no question about it, there are tons of things he had and he's not done well, and it's one of those things where they feed off each other because the O line a mess up cause him to make issues. Then he'll start making issues that cause the O line to look bad, and this is like a feedback loop that goes over and over, and then everybody looking like shit. So it's like I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to gain from it. It just sucks to me though that Spencer Rattler has played the Tampa Bay Bucks, the Broncos, the who else?
Chargers,
The Chargers, the
Packers.
Green Bay Packers. That's his starts. That's the playoff teams. Oh, and
No,
a half against the Commanders.
yeah.
You know,
No, just like that,
playoff
Ryan.
teams.
We're just those are just
But
excuses being made for us. That's it, bro.
hey,
Just excuses, bro.
okay, it's like whatever. Like, what do y'all want? What you want us to say? He sucks. Like, okay, like but that's just a dumb statement. That's a statement without context. You know. But
Um,
y'all don't. Do y'all provide context for Carr? Yes, I would give Carr context. He has 11 years of context. It's like,
like I wasn't freezing my ass off watching this man struggle mightily against fucking New York fucking Giants. But okay, all right. Uh, Justin says, "Do y'all see Gale firing Loomis?" If you would have asked me that prior to that Packers game, I would have said I don't think so. After that Packers game, probably am. I don't know if I would see a firing, but I wouldn't. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if this is not any inside information, but like a very polite, hey, how about like a pay raise and a promotion to get you out of anything football related?
yeah.
Very similar to what happened with Broncos quarterback
Oh, John Elway.
John Elway with the Broncos.
Yeah.
Very polite, like.
Like
And,
we
here, and
love
here's
you.
my
We love you.
here's my argument: if the Broncos could do that with John fucking Elway, a Broncos legend, literally a Broncos legend, why you telling me you can't do that with Mickey Loomis? Like, is it really that difficult?
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. And look, she has to trust her instincts, man. If her instincts are leading her right, and just like she did with Da,
Yep.
like you know what you got to do, and it's just we've seen enough evidence of his job of building this team. He's just not done a good. This has been a 3 year post Drew Brees, Sean Payton strategy, and we've seen the end result, and it's just gotten worse and worse and worse year after year. It hadn't
You
gotten
s-
better.
you said it. The roster is worse now than it was in 20. Was it 2020 you were going off of? Was that
20,
the roster?
2020, yeah, 2021, I think.
It's
It's
worse.
2021. It's worse. It's worst. and you still don't have an answer at the most important position. So it's like, what you've had 3 years, blown picks, you've done stupid draft maneuvers, uh, all above, spent money, wasted money, and this is what you got to show for it. 34-0 on Monday Night Football
Oh,
in December
in front of all the
in
hoes.
front of all of them.
At some point, bro, Joe and Troy were talking about the college football playoffs at the end of the goddamn shit, bro. They couldn't even talk about us no more.
Oh, I know. Jordan was in hell, bro. Like, get me out of here. Get me out of here, bro.
So, and here's the thing that sucks about all that. You just mentioned the loss, right? 34-0 in December, Monday Night Football. They did not move up one iota.
Damn.
Do you know how painful that is, bro? 34-0.
We
Just
still picking 10?
10. 10. Not one move. Not
Oh my
one, bro.
god. That shit is hilarious, man.
Still,
And we gonna might go and lose to the Raiders and still be picking at 10.
bro, I don't think there's a way that if we lose to the Raiders, we would still be picking at 10. There's no way, right? That we would have to move up a little bit. A little
I
bit.
don't know. I don't know, bro. That's
Oh,
right.
goodness. Let's see. Someone asked, are we out on Kubiak? Haven't seen much outside of his scripted plays.
I'm done. Done.
Done.
Done.
Bye. Bye.
Enough. Like, you can't. I know his hands are tied behind his back with injuries, blah 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 blah. But bro,
Bye.
you ain't cooking up nothing, bro. You ain't
Bye.
cooking up nothing, bro.
I'm tired of those tough left, tough right, these slow developing outside toss plays when you see like your offensive line obviously cannot run block well. Like I'm done. I'm done with it. A couple of points I wanted to bring up before I lose my train of thought. Let's start with the first one. Yes, Bree. Yes, preach.
She watching that Tyler Perry movie.
Sounds about right. I want. Let's okay. Let's start with the Rizzy thing. Since we're talking about coach, let's start with the Rizzy thing. If there was not a game, like I was out on Rizzy during the Giants game with the fake punt, but there was more things that happened this game that made me completely out. If I was not all the way out, he had some of the worst clock management you will ever see on a 2-minute drill that the Saints were trying to run to get some points before half. The Saints went up tempo, kind of had a little decent, nice drive going. And I'll say this, going back to some things in terms of what Spencer needs to do better, because I feel like if we don't point out the negatives, people are. I feel like it's weird because in the Commanders game, I felt like one of the things that he had gotten better at after kind of being benched and coming back is that his accuracy had gotten better. The line looked better when he came in that second half against that Commanders game. I don't know if it was the offensive line playing so terribly in the Packers game and then or whatever, but his accuracy just felt off against the Packers. Maybe because like he just got gun shy or just was rushed, whatever it was. His accuracy felt off against the Packers, mostly after like the first quarter. And then he has to develop like a layup, bruh. Like he has to develop a layup because everything is
Yeah.
and so even when throwing like check downs to running backs to like Jordan Mims, everything's like a fast ball.
A heater, yeah.
A heater, and he has to do better at that. That said, there's a drive going where they're matriculating the ball, 2-minute drill, trying to get points before half. And he throws a ball to, I want to say it was maybe Kevin Austin. And it was one of those plays where Austin catches it and the ball gets fumbled out of bounds. So you can make the argument that he fumbled it out of bounds, or you can make the argument that it was an incomplete pass. So the referees considered it a catch and a fumble out of bounds. So for whatever reason, when that happens, the clock still goes. For whatever reason, Rizzy either didn't realize it or whatever, and he doesn't take a timeout. So in a span of almost 40 seconds goes off the play clock. And it goes from 50 seconds to 15 seconds. 40 seconds goes, and he's like oblivious to time going off the clock before he finally takes a timeout.
What?
I'm not making any of this up. So I don't know if he thought the referees were going to review it to see and maybe deem it an incomplete pass, and if they would have, then they would have gotten the time back, or if he just didn't know that if it's a catch and a fumble out of bounds, that the clock still continues to go and it doesn't stop. Whatever it was, the clock continued to go. They lost 40 seconds on a 2-minute drill when they were trying to get points. It was just like it, and we're on the Zoom all saying, take the fucking time out. Like, what is going on? Like, we're not getting paid, bro. We're just watching the football game, just fans, bro. And if we can see that to just take the time, like, bro, all of us, we're just like, nah, bro. We're done. We're done. We're done. It was just a bad look. And it's just like, and I'm again, when you're the head coach, even when you're an interim, like you got to know that stuff. You got to be on top of every little minute detail. And it was just a bad look in the moment for Rizzy.
Did Groupie miss kicks or something? How do you not score 3 points though?
So after that mishap with the clock, Spencer goes to pass and he takes a bad sack, a la kind of like Teddy Bridgewater did against the Cowboys, and it took him out of field goal range, and there you go. Yeah. And so that was a moment at just seeing how I would say how Rizzy managed that, where it's just like, yeah, I'm done, completely out. And I think whatever chances he may have had of maybe actually getting the job, I think that being on like national TV, I think that may have ended his chances of actually potentially getting the job too.
Yeah,
But
I think so. I think so because, look, I mean, what have you shown so far to be like, yes, this is the guy that's going to take this roster as it is today and build it up and propel it to be what we just faced in Green Bay on Monday Night Football? Um, like, can you match with Matt LaFleur? You know,
Oh
Matt
no,
LaFleur had to do nothing. Like Matt LaFleur just like, man, we just draw up our little our day one stuff. Let's go,
bruh,
just easy.
man was on vacation. I think
Chilling.
Brian instigated Brian in the chat said perfectly. Rizzy as head coach is the same as Carr as quarterback. He adds nothing. Nothing is improved or elevated. I mean, I will say I think I think the bar was so low to begin with that he did elevate it to a point that like it was just so low, bruh.
It was look like he brought it from like below average to like almost average. And it's like, oh
Yes.
wow, wow, we almost average.
Okay.
It's like, we need more than that. Like I'm trying to
I
mute my
know.
wife out because she's. But we want more than that. We want better. Like we want
We
better
need
for
better. We
ourselves.
don't want better. We need better. But the other thing that really, and I didn't hear this, but I guess it was maybe said before the game, and I thought it was big news. Was Adam Schefter doesn't put things out for nothing, and he mentioned that Mike Vrabel potentially would be an option for the Saints for head coach, right?
I saw that.
Which was interesting for me to hear
Who's putting that out?
because that's my question. Because I had heard last offseason that there's a lot of connections that Vrabel has in the Saints building, and that if they had let go of DA last offseason, because it was kind of a surprise that the Titans fired Mike Vrabel, that there could have been a Saints Mike Vrabel pairing last offseason that could have happened if the Saints would have had the balls to fire DA last offseason, which they should have, but whatever. But recently I had heard that there was a lot of trepidation for Mike Vrabel being the Saints head coach, largely because I just don't. I had potentially heard like he didn't know how he would fit in with Mickey as the GM and how things have been ran recently. Which, to be fair, is a completely fair point, right?
Yeah.
So if that's what was already out there or kind of known, I wonder if that was put out there not from the Drabble side, but from maybe someone on the Saints side, kind of putting that out there, like, we still out here, we still open, and if that's what the hang up is, maybe that won't be the hang up anymore. I'm just saying,
Right.
I'm just speculating. I'm just
Right.
speculating for what I'm already know and what I've already been told before. I'm just saying, Ryan. I'm just saying.
Somebody putting it out there.
Mm,
Somebody putting it out there, and excuse me. And for them to put it out there, I know it ain't coming from Loomis because
no,
Loomis don't really work like that. But it's somebody within the organization trying to communicate. Like, look, we still open for business,
hey
baby, and
baby, hey
look,
baby.
we could work something out. Like, don't let that be a hang up. Don't let that be a hang up. Don't let Loomis and all that be a hang up. And look, from Vrabel perspective, if you've already been a head coach, you especially him of all people, he knows how important the GM coach relationship is going to be for
That's
him
why
as a
he got
team.
fired as
So
that's why he got fired as the
that's
Titans head coach.
literally why he's not a head coach anymore. Like his tenure went terrible because of him and who's the
John
was it
Robinson.
John Robinson
he
because
he
they
was he was against the AJ Brown trade. He
AJ
like
Brown
so,
trade.
so
Yep.
many things he was against that John Robinson did, and he was also, I think, the final sticking point, if I remember correctly, listening to Michael Lombardi, was the Titans really wanted to go move forward with the Will Levis as quarterback, and Mike Vrabel was like, this nigga's trash. Like,
Boy, trash, man.
and look, he was right. Like,
He was right. Yeah,
so
he was right.
I'll say this, and I know people, and I saw people, I don't know if it was like on Twitter that were like poo-pooing Mike Drabble, and I'm just like, oh,
Who do y'all want? Please tell me.
please
I know Ben Johnson.
explain
Yes, I
to
get it.
me.
Ben Johnson, you want? Okay, Ben Johnson not happening. Now who else? Who else? Like what?
Y'all know who we are, right? Y'all, do y'all see our roster? Do y'all see where we picking in the draft? Do y'all see our cap situation? Do y'all see who our quarterback is? Do y'all see who our GM is? Y'all gonna poo-poo a man that took bad, like pretty mediocre Titan rosters to the AFC Championship games?
A very, very forgettable Titans team. Like used to make fun of Titans. And used to make fun of them, man. Took them and put them in the AFC Championship.
Would beat the Rave like the Ravens teams like.
Yeah.
And here's the thing that I would always appreciate about Vrabel, and if he became the Saints head coach, I would know, that we would have an identity, and I would know what that identity is. They would be bullies. They would be and I get it. You could say like, man, he's kind of a throwback. The OC hire, that would be kind of, he would have to hit that. I get all that. I know they would have an identity, and I know they would have a culture. And here's the thing, they would have an adult head coach that would hold players accountable. And he's shown that he could build a program. Oh my God. Dude, the Saints need that more than anything right now.
Please.
Adam Schefter yesterday just puts out a report that Pete Carroll wants to be on the sideline again. Were we not talking last month?
Should we
Last
be
month?
blowing his phone up? Should have been be blowing his phone up, man. Come on now. Like these
Anyhow,
are people with like success on their resume. Like nothing but success. And yes, you can find areas where where they failed and had issues here and there. That's every single head coach ever. Every
ever.
every single head coach has had bumps in the road, even the greatest ones. But they've also had success. I mean, come on, man! Like shoot for the sky.
I just like the whole we should feel like even like honored if Mike Vrabel gave us like an interview at this point. How down
Yeah.
bad we are. Like what are we
Because
doing right now?
it's really bad, man. It's really bad. Like there's not a lot of hope. Not a lot of hope. You know what I'm saying? Like it's it's gonna be so fascinating once interviews start happening to see who the Saints are able to get up in the building. You know, it's gonna be really telling, bro. And I'm also fascinated by what's going on airline right now. What's going on? Because bro, when I don't care what company it is, when your company is like going to shits,
Whew.
like bro, the stuff that happened in those office buildings on the executive floors, a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of back channel, a lot of Slack conversations, group chats, talks on the side hallway in the stairwell. Like, man, you get this job, I could roll with you. Man, a lot of stuff going on. I'm so fascinated to know what's going on in the Saints building because they're not in lockstep. We know they're not in lockstep right
Nope.
now. We know.
Nope. We know. We've known it for a while. We got 53 concurrent viewers on going right now. We appreciate y'all.
What's up?
So got the Raiders game on Sunday. I guess we'll preview real quick before we go to the preview. We'll try to wrap this up. Actually, we'll hit this after our break from our sponsor. There's something I want to talk about in the Packers game that happened that I just on my radar. We'll hit a couple of things from the Raiders game. We'll find that looking at interestingly, and we'll wrap it up. Let's get a word in from our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy.
Underdog is the best place to cash in on all your takes this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones are cold? Make your entries in just a few taps and turn your sport opinions into real money. Wide receiver hurt? Every dog deserves a second chance. And with Underdog Rescues, you can get your money back and receive a promo if any early injury causes your entry to lose.
I love Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is the best place to play champions. So sign up and deposit now using promo code Block Party to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Download the app today and use the code Block Party to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Again, download the app today and use the code Block Party to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Will Derek Carr throw for over 75 yards, higher or lower? You decide using Underdog Fantasy.
Download the app today and use code Block Party to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's code Block Party to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Higher or lower, you make the call on Underdog. Must be 18 years or older, 19 or older in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or older in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. That's 1-800-639-8783 or text Next Step to 53342. In New York, call 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369.
We are back. Okay, so this was on my radar. Almost the almost feels like exclusively all these entire second half of the Packers game. Kendrick Miller completely disappeared from the game. Completely disappeared. Wasn't hurt. Jordan Mims got most of those snaps, and I would have to look up like the actual tweet, maybe pull up like my tweet or what I or because I'm pretty sure I retweeted it from Ross because it was asked, and I'm glad the media asked Rizzy about it. Let's see if I can find it. Also, as an estimated like practice, Chris Olave was a full participant, or would have been a full participant yesterday. So I don't know.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Um, let's see if I can find it. Sorry, this is great podcasting at its finest. Okay, so the point I was talking about earlier was Saints rookie quarterback Spencer Rattler was pressured on 52.6 of his dropbacks against the Packers. Um, our dude John Hendrick said the Saints wins this year. Panthers, Cowboys, Falcons, Browns, Giants. Those teams are combined at 24 and 51.
Damn.
Also, I remember doing this exact same bit last season. Okay, here it is. Darren Rizzi said the Saints had a plan for Kendre Miller coming in, but because they dug a hole, things changed, and that's why there was more Jordan Mims. Said game plan didn't play out the way they wanted to.
I mean, is that pass protection?
But Jordan Mims was almost used exclusively as like a check down, so it wasn't pass protection. It's weird, Ryan. It's
I did see Kendrick was averaging like 1.8 yards per carry. Like, damn, we couldn't move the ball at all. Damn.
nah, bro,
Jesus.
no.
And Lucas Patrick got hurt.
Lucas Patrick got hurt.
McCoy got hurt early.
Shut it down, Eric, bro. Shut it down, bro.
Just shut it down, bro.
Please.
Ooh, Lord. Look, man, this team in the draft, like, they got a lot to focus on. Look, I mean, they can go anywhere. They can go anywhere. They can go OT. They can go offensive guard. Like, look, no, you probably don't. Look, I know
No.
guard in the first round probably don't need to do that, but they need to get it.
Luckily, there's not a guard like worth drafting.
Yeah.
Top 10. Thank God. I can't, Ryan. I can't do another OT. I can't.
Another OT, bro.
I can't
Another
do
one.
OT 10. I can't. I need juice. I need wetness. I need filth.
Please.
I can't do it no more. I can't, bro. I need Genty. I can't do it, Ryan. I swear to God. I can't be at the draft party. Oh, with the Saints with the 10th overall pick, they draft Will Campbell. I can't do it, Ryan. I can't
Sleep,
do it.
bro. Sleep. I want to have a draft where we go to like an after party after the draft.
Oh my God! Shit, we walk around with just Genty and just be like, and you can listen. And here's the thing that's so discouraging is when you think of teams, and they showed it with the Packers, right? They showed how many skill position players the Packers have drafted over the years, like round two, round three, and they've all become studs, which is funny because Aaron Rodgers used to bitch about them. Fuaga, first round pick. Ruiz, first round pick. Penny, first round pick. Eric McCoy, high second round pick. Those are premium draft picks. So that tells me either the scouting was completely bad, McCoy worked out, Fuaga worked out. So you have an issue with Ruiz, which that could be more a tribute to Sean, I would say, because that was a pick where he kind of just swung his dick because that pick was going to be Jonathan Taylor, but Sean banged the stable for Ruiz because he couldn't stand Lloyd Warford. And then you have the Penning thing, right?
Probably one of the most disastrous moves in the past 3 years. Just
because then that becomes Jalen Carter for the Eagles, who's is like a top 5-4 defensive tackle in football.
Just that whole move, everything that went with it is just like, whew, that was terrible. And for Penny to still be, and look, he's been fine most of the year.
He has been most of the year. But that game,
just to be fair to him, but the fact that he could still come up with a game every now and then is just like, ooh my God, oh, like I was looking at a couple snaps where like Spencer didn't even get to the top of his drop.
It was bad, bro.
And Penny was getting pushed back already. Pushed back, like not just beat, but bull rushed.
Yes.
Your big 6'8", 350-pound ass getting pushed back. Like, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? I don't get it.
Like I said, it's almost and Spencer had it's funny because Spencer had two plays that's just such an indictment of your thing of like Saints fans aren't ready for a first round pick a quarterback, bro. They're just not ready for it because
Yeah,
he made this amazing like jump pass on 3rd and 17 that were the first down, just an amazing like a literally like a jump pass on 3rd and 17 that goes for 18 yards, converts a third down, and then right after they go like play action little rollout, and he gets fooled by the defense. They're running like a rotating cover two coverage. I think he's trying to go to Foster Monroe for a touchdown that gets intercepted. Like literally, it's like great, amazing play on 3rd and 17 that goes for a first down. Very next player interception, and that's just the high, and that's just not with a fifth round rookie quarterback. That's with any young quarterback.
yeah,
Any young quarterback.
yeah, man. And it gets worse and worse when you have, less help around them. You know what I'm saying? Like less team it just get the room for error is even less. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, whew, it's rough, bro. So I mean, Raiders coming up. So Carr coming back. Carr coming back, baby. Derek Carr, baby.
They estimated him yesterday to be a DNP, bro. So I think like this practice and this practice and next practice is gonna be very telling me because when you heard, I didn't hear it, but they were talking about his injury on the broadcast on Monday Night Football. It's a bad fucking injury. Even though this is non-throwing him, bro. Like it's a bad injury. Like there
Yeah.
really should not be a reason that he should be playing another fucking down this season at all.
And you already know how football players are. Like they gonna test that. We gonna test that hand out. Max out. He out for the
Yeah,
season. Max
yeah, that's
out.
what season.
Whoever pass rushing. What's your boy that went to TTU?
Oh, Tyree Wilson, baby.
Tyree
He
coming.
got 4 sacks on the season.
He come and smack that hand up. Bah! Let me see how that thing feels. He come and hit that thing.
I will say this,
Uh,
and I don't. And if Carr can't go, I think this would be, in a weird way, not the best assessment you'll get of Rattler, but at least maybe like the fairest assessment you'll probably be able to get with him for the season, right? To some degree, and it was just very interesting seeing like comparing the Saints to the Falcons in a way where they tried to set it up for Michael Penix where, hey, your first start, hey, we gonna put you out against the Giants, right? Try to ease you into the league as much as possible,
right.
but get you going nice and steady. But like the Saints, they were trying to get Derek Carr back against the easiest team in the league, and he's like an 11-year-old vet. That juxtaposition is crazy, Ryan. Isn't that some wild juxtaposition, bro?
Like I said, bro. Like, what's the record of the team Spencer Rattler had to face? That's what I would like to know. Do that math. Like all playoff teams, bro. It's just crazy. Uh, it's just like you can't. Like, what am I supposed to do with that information? What am I supposed to do with that?
And I guess as an evaluator, right? Whether you're the Saints, whether you're just watching football, it's just so interesting of how what do you take from each game? It's like you take what do you take from the good things and the bad things that he did in the Tampa Bay game? The good, and then the good things that he did in the Commanders game. Because honestly, had Juwan Johnson not dropped that touchdown, or not dropped that 2-point conversion, he wins that game. Like he puts the team on his back and he comes back and he wins that game against the Commanders team that just went out and beat the Eagles. So again, and this is not just saying that everything Rattler has done this season has been good. I'm not saying that. Please do not parse my words and try to fucking put words in my mouth when I'm not saying that. He has not been stellar. He has not been great. He has a lot to work on. A lot to work on. And has at times been very bad this season. But it's just those glimpses and that talent that you do see within like the mess what like how do you parse that out of what the coaching situation and what the team situation is?
It's hard, man. It's hard. Like that's the good evaluators. That's what they get paid for. Like able to squeeze through all that shit.
Packers with Malik Willis. Hello.
Perfect example. Cause dude looked like he ain't belong in the NFL.
Hello.
Like when he was with the Titans,
Titans.
Titans actually. Like, ooh, like I was like Jesus. Like man, I was wrong on Malik. That dude looking bad.
I
Goes to
believe
the
someone
Packers.
formerly in our Discord called him a thick Ian Book, if I remember correctly.
Went to the Packers first game. Like it managed the shit out of him. Well, he didn't. They didn't ask him to do much, but he, they got the win with him. Then the second you started seeing him add things to his plate, looking good, man. It just goes to show you like coaching, all that stuff matters, man. All that stuff matters.
It does. I'm glad I kind of thought of that. Like, but Malik Willis is an absolute perfect example of it.
Perfect example. Perfect example of a kid, with a lot of talent.
Because the tape, even on Malik's tape, you saw it. Like in
Right.
college, you saw the talent.
You
You
saw the
saw the
talent.
talent.
It just was
We
never
saw it
put
at the.
together.
You saw it at. We saw it at the Senior Bowl. Like
Sure did.
it was just this aura, this air about him. You saw the way he threw the ball. He went to a situation that just didn't fit his talent, and that's why I just was thinking is like you just got to piece together. And now again, this is not me coming out and saying that Spencer Rattler is going to be like a great starting NFL quarterback or anything like that, but you have to be able to like kind of see through the shit.
Yeah. But I'll just say for Spencer, it's this season's kind of rough for him.
Woo.
Just because, man, 0 points on Monday Night Football. It's just it's hard. It's hard for him to stand in front of the team and be like, "Yeah, bro, I got y'all. I'm gonna lead y'all." And
Yep.
even though that's not his fault, what I'm saying it's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way it is. Just the way this season's going. It's the way this team is built. It's just a bad team, man. Just a bad built team. And nothing you can do about it. I mean, Carr could come back like his hand could magically heal up perfectly. And I couldn't pick the Saints against the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a good team, bro. It is not a good team, man.
Oh man, that it would be the most Saints thing ever if Carr came back and got that 32-32 against the Raiders, bro, on Sunday.
Oh. Oh, Jesus.
I'm not hope. I mean, we need the drop positioning. So at this
I
point,
mean, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, because Raiders fans was hot.
woo, to go from 2 to 6. Oh my god, nigga.
Damn.
But like I get it. It's like Antonio Pierce said. Like we come in here every week. We working tirelessly. Like that's why you will never see an NFL team like actively tank unless
No.
like that Bucks Saints game is as close as you'll see an NFL team
Close as you
actively
get.
tank.
You got that call from up top, like,
Hey,
sit them on down. And look, after that level was like, I'm not doing that again because I got fired anyway. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So, nah, bro. Like, a head coach is gonna try to win as many games as possible. That's just the way it is. He'll try to do it. And it's not like the Raiders can do much to try to like. They don't have a quarterback. It's like they just out there just trying to just out there with their roster just trying to win. They're playing the Jags. Like, what do you want them to do? You know what I'm saying? It's the Jags.
Anyway, thank y'all for joining us. We hope everyone had happy holidays and
Yeah,
enjoyed.
man.
I know you weren't able to hang out and be with family because you were sick.
No, man. It sucked. It sucked. Being in the house for Christmas, not being home. I'm always with family for Christmas, so this one was kind of trash. But it is what it is, man. I feel like I'm getting a little better because there was no way I could have done this podcast the other day. I couldn't even talk.
No,
So, but y'all held it down and ready to finish out this season, bro. We got 2 more games.
oh, two more. Oh, two more.
And we going to get some answers soon. Answers. Who the head coach going to be? What happens with Mickey Loomis? What happens with the quarterback position? All that. We got answers coming, baby.
Yeah, like this, we thought last off season
Oh
we'll
man.
have nothing on this
Oh,
wide
nothing,
receiver,
bro.
bro.
Nothing, man.
Like,
Absolutely.
yeah. So, like, yes, buckle up because we will have you guys covered, have y'all covered as we cover this off season. Hopefully, within next week or so, we'll know officially if we will be going to the Senior Bowl or not, which we think we are. Oh boy, we've got somebody in the chat thinking that the NFL is scripted. Okay. Jack Hunter said, just play Carr and Hayner and protect Rattler because we aren't playing for squad. Rattler has the most potential at quarterback. Louisiana said, hope you're feeling better, Ryan. And
Thank you.
keeping it real. Who that Saints podcast. Great show, guys. Thank you. So we will be back on Sunday after the Saints Raiders game doing the recap pod, and we'll take it from there. Be safe out there. Enjoy yourselves. Be safe. Spend time with your loved ones. If for whatever reason, it's the holidays. I know the holidays are hard for some people because their loved ones aren't here or friends or what have you aren't here. Just do things that helps you remember them, and just remember that they're always with you and always close to you. So we'll be back on Sunday recapping all the shenanigans from Sunday. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We'll be back, and with that, we are out.
Peace.